see him. Tabari Grubbs, the Chocolate Cowboy. 5'7", 27 years of age. Has been training for the last 5 years. Stands at a record of 4-1, representing Ambush Muay Thai and Brazilian Fight Factory. Fighting out of Austin, Texas, Clay.
And I tell you, he is feeling good. He is dancing, he's grooving, he is vibing on his way to the cage. Man, it's not too often you see people getting ready to walk into a fist fight and just dancing their way there.
You know, going into a fight can be a stressful situation, and so a lot of the high-level fighters, man, they just make an event out of it, make themselves feel good. And if dancing makes you feel good, then by golly, you know, make your way to the cage on a good note, not feeling depressed like you're walking to death.
Yeah, I think Deion Sanders said it best. He said, you look good, you feel good, you play good. There's no doubt, you come out in a cowboy hat and an American flag around your shoulders, you're feeling pretty good.
There you see him, the Chocolate Cowboy. He is ready for action.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent makes his way to the cage, representing Main Street Boxing and Muay Thai, Michael Capone.
There we see him, the gangster, Michael Capone. 5'6", 29 years of age, has been training for the last 6 years, representing Main Street Boxing, 10 mixed martial arts fights under his belt, Clay.
And I'll tell you what, 5-5 record, but 10 fights at the amateur level. That, like we talked about earlier, that's experience in all these different situations, finding ways in, finding ways out of these bad predicaments. And speaking of predicaments, that's what Tabari Grubbs mentioned. He said, if he wants to find a way out, I'll give it to him. But at the same time, Michael Capone has probably been in and out of all the situations that you can be in intense fights. It's a very interesting matchup, no matter how you look at it.
And both of these fighters, Clay, in their late 20s, over 5 fights underneath their belt. I think after this fight, it would be a great time for both of them to turn pro.
Yeah, no doubt about that. No doubt about that. Both guys looking fresh. We can see Grubbs here in front of us doing some footwork drills, making sure he's feeling crisp. And here is Michael Capone, the gangster, rolling into the ring, getting ready for a fight here in our main event.
Michael Capone, ready for action. Yeah, we caught that too.
Our main event of the evening is being brought to us by Tabari Delgado Insurance, and is scheduled for 3 rounds of 3 minutes each, and then Elevate FC Flyweight Division. Introducing first on my left, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, officially weighed in 125 pounds. His record stands almost perfect, 4 wins against a lone defeat. Fighting out of Fordyce, Alabama, by way of Austin, Texas, Tabari, the Chocolate Cowboy Grubbs. Chocolate Cowboy. And across the cage on my right, fighting out of the red corner. He stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, official weight 125 pounds. His record stands even, 5 wins and 5 defeats. Fighting out of Shenandoah Valley, Virginia, by way of Houston, Texas, Michael, the Gangster Capone. Referee in charge of the action, Jeff Rexford.
And the moment of truth has arrived. Michael Capone, Tabari Grubbs, and our main event is officially underway.
Both men say they're the best. Only one can be. Ooh, as we already see, quick counter shot off the leg kick there from Tabari Grubbs.
A lot of fight experience between these two fighters. And Grubbs now looked like he landed a shot while Capone was on his way to his back.
Yeah, and I think the only thing that might have saved Capone there from eating a harder shot was that he was slipping backwards. kind of fading away from that punch as it was coming in.
I don't know if it looked like Capone was going for like a deep half guard.
Something. He's on his feet now, though.
Going for a hip throw, and he scores it.
Look at this. This is catch wrestling. This is a scarf hold.
Oh,
This is
already.
judo. Look, he's going to break that arm.
Already see a
That's a wrap. That's a wrap. Todd, I think that arm is broken. I think that
We'll
arm might
see
be.
from this angle. That does not look good on the shoulder. Grubbs hanging in there, and he is stuck. Grubbs he survives.
Did not tap.
Wow.
He did not tap.
I don't think Capone quite had the angle on it, but Grubbs suffering a cut on the top left eye.
Yeah, I tell you, this is the first blood we've got all night.
Here's
Spinning
corner
it.
calling for the armbar. But right now, it's almost looking like he was going for a twister. Wow, haven't seen that in a minute. But Grubbs has been gutting out all these submission attempts. The submission specialist in Capone.
I tell you what, good on Grubbs trying to keep his weight down on that hip, not let his back get taken, but he's getting tied up. The gangster looking for a twister. Back on top.
Capone now enjoying that top position, looking to rain down some shots, and man, smoothly taking the back of Grubbs.
Yeah, got that body lock on him here. Capone with the body lock. And Grubbs, oh, got it. He's under the chin.
Man, it's only a matter of time. Grubbs hanging in there, trying to tough it out.
If Grubbs can survive this, give that man a medal.
Oh my goodness.
Up to his feet, he's trying to hang on. It's under the chin.
Grubbs looked like he was turning purple, and he survives.
Oh my goodness.
Man, what a heart. And Tabari Grubbs, the chocolate cowboy, showing his mettle here.
That is cowboy toughness is what that is, Todd. Unbelievable.
But he is in a world of trouble as the gangster is on him like white on rice.
And Todd, I've got to wonder about, we had such a good view of it. I have to wonder about the status of that arm. Oh my goodness.
Once again,
the ankle.
Capone going for that choke, this time across the jaw. Can transition that to like a jawbreaker.
And again, Grubbs doing a good job keeping his chin down, just trying to survive here.
And just under 10 seconds left. This is enough time for Capone to get the finish. And
My
Grubbs
goodness.
survives. Wow, what a round. And you know what's crazy is it looks like that cut already cleared up from Grubbs, just naturally.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of blood coming out of Capone underneath the cheek there on the cheek area. Yeah, I think that's an easy round for Capone. He was threatening with a submission. It's one of those where you survive, but at the same time, my goodness.
There we see a shot. They're talking about the shoulder already. I mean, Grubbs kind of made a motion to his shoulder.
Yeah.
I think he may have strained it a bit, but he was able to survive that and continue on.
Yeah,
But
I used to train with fighters in Alabama, and one of the fighters that went off to Mississippi, didn't know he was competing against a black belt. His arm got snapped in that same hold. It's that scarf hold transition, and just popped that arm.
now, Clay, now that there was a significant 10-8 round. I mean, just the duration and damage done by Capone, that was easily scored a 10-8 round in my opinion.
Understood. Now I'll tell you, Todd, I'm very curious. How will that affect Grubbs' jab coming out here in this round? Because that is his left hand. That's his jabbing arm. We saw him kind of using that early on in the round.
Round 2 underway. This is not a championship fight, ladies and gentlemen, so this is only scheduled for 3 rounds.
I gotta believe if you're the gangster, if you're Capone, you definitely want to hit the takedown here early. Do not get on the feet. You have the advantage on the floor.
Capone faking the shot as the chocolate cowboy. Oh, knocks down.
My goodness.
What a turn of events, Clay.
Yeah, but Grubbs being very cautious about getting into this guard.
Throwing those hammer fists away like a sledgehammer. Man, he was throwing those with just bad intentions.
Yeah, no doubt. He felt that control on the floor, though. He did not want to hop into that guard with any speed, if you will.
After a round like round 1, how crazy would it be for Grubbs to score a knockout like that?
And Capone was using his jab there to set up this takedown.
Man, what balance by Capone. That's some strong base and hips there.
Look at this, going to rubber guard. Again, it's this control. Capone Capone has a very high-level ground game. That's what I'm seeing here, Todd.
This 125-pound division is crazy fast. And I'm telling you, these two guys need to turn pro after this fight. I mean, I love watching these guys at the amateur level, but man, they are showing some high-quality stuff here tonight, Clay.
Yeah, this has absolutely been a crazy back-and-forth fight so far here. We're only about halfway through it. As Capone is trying to get to mission control, Grubbs just bows up on his heels, doesn't let him get there.
How crazy is this, Clay? Seesaw battle as we have Capone winning the first round and Grubbs right now in full control of the second.
Trying to hit hammer fist here, trying to stack that guard.
I'm pretty confident that was a 10-8 round. If this goes to the decision, that could come into a big factor.
You see our official there warning Capone about tying his toes up in the fence. He's doing it again.
And that's good cage awareness there from Capone to turn his head away from the cage. That was something I was wanting Floyd Jr. to work on earlier against his fight with KT, was just work a little bit of cage transitions, something that if you study Frank Shamrock, he was really good at turning his body positioning to not get his head stuck against the cage.
Yeah, absolutely. It's that high-level ground game. We saw there Grubbs was almost able to pass guard as Capone went for the rubber guard and left his leg a little too low, but Capone able to get right back to here.
Now this is something you don't see very often, is a Kimura attempt or Americana attempt from the bottom position, from the closed guard from your back.
Yeah, I think it's just trying to convince the referees, the judges that you're doing something, but look, he's got the arm here.
Good attempt there from Capone, but still a Grubbs round in my opinion. Give that one 10-9 to Grubbs.
I believe so. He was on top for longer.
With that said, I'd probably score this 19-18 for Capone if you did a 10-8 round in that first round. Sorry, Clay.
No, don't apologize to me. The first round is the key. How was it scored? What were they looking at? And how do you come out in this third round if you are Capone, or you have an advantage on the ground, but in the previous round, you wound up underneath and most likely it cost you the fight. So what happens here? I'm curious. I would like to see Capone, we talked about it earlier, he's kind of shooting for these low doubles and he's getting sprawled on. Maybe use that to set up more of a striking, shoot low, aim high. I'm a big fan of that in MMA. I think I've seen Khabib Nurmagomedov use that, and we've seen a lot of wrestlers over the years use it. I'd like to see Capone do it in this third round.
A lot of questions to be answered in this third and final round. It's one apiece. High drama here at Elevate Fighting Championship. And they're going to hug it out to start the fight off there. So keeping it respectful, but now it's time to go to war.
Yeah, absolutely. Respect between two fighters. Ooh, trying to set up a foot sweep there was Capone.
I can appreciate that, but I can also appreciate a heated grudge match too, Clay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nonetheless, we see a high-level fight here between Capone and Grubbs.
Yeah, and Capone has Grubbs sprawling on that shoulder.
Ooh,
it's that shoulder. It's out.
From
It's
earlier,
out. It's
Capone
out.
needs to go. Oh my goodness!
Yep.
And it looks like the referee stops the fight. Injury TKO for Capone.
And that was the shoulder that was in that submission, was in that scarf hold arm lock earlier. You hate to see it.
I'm gonna go ahead, Clay.
No, good on Capone to notice that the shoulder's out, to not throw any more unnecessary strikes, have any more unnecessary damage. Good on Capone to recognize that before the official did, as a matter of fact, before our referee did.
Our second fight of the night with a blown out shoulder, Clay. That's crazy.
Yeah, I tell you, with me on commentary, I've got the bad shoulders myself. You can see, yeah, he's saying he's good. That's the way those shoulders work. That's the way those shoulders work.
That's heartbreaking. But you know what? I give credit to Capone for being a good sportsman, but if I'm his coach, I'm telling him, don't do that again. If your opponent is injured or whatever the case, in the heat of competition, it's the referee's job to stop the fight. And so, yes, he was showing compassion and good sportsmanship, but if I was his coach, I'd say, like, hey, look, that's great, but don't do that again. Just stay on him until the referee pulls you off.
I agree, because as a matter of fact, I watched recently a boxing highlight where a heavyweight fighter's shoulder came out of place, and then he secured a knockout after the fact. So I kind of agree with you on that.
nonetheless, Clay, I gotta give a lot of credit to the gangster, Michael Capone. One hell of a dominant first round, a solid 10-8 round with just some smooth transitions from submission to submission, and he earns himself the main event victory here tonight and improves to 6 victories in his mixed martial arts career.
Yeah, no doubt about it. As we saw there, it was that submission that paid dividends. It weakened that shoulder joint so that later on in the fight, it cost it in the striking exchange. You've seen that before. Chan Sung Jung versus Jose Aldo. Jung's shoulder came out of place in the 5th round because of previous striking exchanges. It's just something that happens in the fight game, these loose joints. And you got to feel for Tabari Grubbs as well, Todd, because we heard him scream throwing the mouthpiece. He felt like he was good to go, and that's the way these shoulders work. When they pop out and they pop right back in, your body is just ready to go again, but it's not. That shoulder is out. It's not good. You need to rest up, take some time off, and we've seen it twice here tonight.
Congratulations to Michael Capone. My vote for fighter of the night. We had a close call with Josh Thomas, the solid wrestler with the ground and pound TKO. Brandon Gonzalez with the rear naked choke sub as fighter of the night, but I'm gonna give it to that main event. And we are wrapping things up here at Elevate Fighting Championship. From ClearLifeMedia.com, I am Todd Moore. This is Clay Roberts. Want to wish you all a good night and good fight.